everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I'm Nuzhat Sana and in this video I'll discuss today's top current and static general studies questions for UPSC Prelims Examination 2022 onwards. And these questions are framed keeping in view both the factual as well as analytical aspects of UPSC Prelims exam. Also, I would like to inform you that these questions are part of GK Today's UPSC Prelims test series, which is available in GK Today Android app. And the test series for 2022 Prelims examination comprises total of 7500 questions, divided 2500 questions on current general studies and 5000 questions on static general studies. And the series has started from May 2021 and it will end with UPSC Prelims Examinations 2022. So if you wish to access all questions of GK Today UPSC Prelims test series, you may subscribe the test series in the app. So now without wasting any further time, let's get started.
So today this is our 38th lecture and now let's start. Question number 1. With reference to geography of India, consider the following observations. First statement says, Pulomilo is the smallest island among the islands of Nicobar group of islands. Actually, Pulomilo is an island in the Nicobar district of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And yes, this is the smallest island among the islands of Nicobar group of islands. This is right. Second statement says, the Karnataka coastal plain depicts an inland belt of isolated hills of Archean gneisses. So the Karnataka coastal plain depicts a narrow belt of very recent deposits, an erosion platform and inland belt of isolated hills of Archean gneisses. Hence, second statement is also right. Third statement is, Gujarat coastal plain is formed by the alluvial deposits of Sabarmati, Mahi and numerous tiny streams. So yes, Gujarat coastal plain is formed by alluvial deposits of Sabarmati, Mahi and numerous tiny parallel consequent streams whose process of formation is still in continue mode. Okay, so third statement is also right. Correct answer becomes all 1, 2 and 3. Now what is the context of this question? Why we have put this question here? Because an underwater expedition project is planned to be carried out this year to determine the age of Ram Setu, which is the shoal chain between India and Sri Lanka. So this expedition will try to understand the formation of the bridge and find if there are submerged habitation. So it is a belief that this bridge was supposedly built by Lord Ram, but the project holds political significance as well because historians say that Rama is a Lord figure and not mythological. Okay. Also, the Geological Survey of India in its study under Project Rameshwaram indicates that the islands of Rameshwaram in India and Talai Mannar in Sri Lanka was exposed between 7,000 and 18,000 years ago, and by including the dating of corals, the GSI has stated that this bridge was formed about 500 to 600 years ago. Okay. Now next question, which of the following states are covered by the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor? First of all, what is DFC? This is a high speed and high capacity railway corridor that is exclusively meant for the transportation of freight, or in other words, goods and commodities. Okay. Now this DFC consists of two arms basically. First is EDFC and second is WDFC. Okay. Talking about EDFC, it starts at Sahnewal, or you can say Ludhiana in Punjab and ends at Dankuni in West Bengal. And this EDFC route has coal mines, thermal power plants and industrial cities. And this route covers Punjab, Haryana, UP, Bihar, West Bengal and Jharkhand. And World Bank is funding a majority of EDFC. Fine. And now talking about WDFC, it is of 1500 kilometers from Dadri in UP to Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust in Mumbai, touching all major ports along the way. Okay, and it is being funded by the Japan International Cooperation Agency. Okay, and WDFC covers Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh. Fine. Now coming back to the question, let's see which of the following states are covered under WDFC. Haryana, yes. Punjab is not there. Punjab is in EDFC, not in WDFC. Rajasthan, yes. Gujarat, yes. Uttar Pradesh, yes. Correct answer becomes only 1, 3, 4 and 5. Now what is DFCCIL? That is Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India Limited. It works under Ministry of Railways and it is a special purpose vehicle tasked with planning and completion of 3,306 kilometers of DFCs. Headquarter lies in New Delhi and it is a public sector undertaking. So basically it engages in the planning and development, in deployment of monetary resources, building, upkeep and operation of DFCs. Fine. Now why it was in news? Because recently Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi has inaugurated a 351 kilometer section of EDFC and an OCC, that is Operational Control Center, between Khurja and Bhavpur in Uttar Pradesh. And EDFC is a 1839 kilometers project and it is the largest rail infrastructure being built in independent India and it has been in the making since the year 2006. Okay. Now next question, with reference to public finance in India, which of the following is our correct observations about off-budget borrowings? First of all, let's understand what is off-budget borrowings. So this is a type of loan that is taken not by the center directly but by another public institution which borrows on the directions of the central government, and such borrowings are used to fulfill the government's expenditure needs and it is a kind of way for the center to finance its expenditures while keeping the debt off the books so that it is not counted in the calculation of fiscal deficit. So since the liability of the loan is not formally on the center, the loan is not included in the national fiscal deficit. And this helps keeping the country's fiscal deficit within the acceptable limits. Okay, let's make it more simple. Actually, fiscal deficit is the most wanted details that everyone needs in the country as well as on international level. And what is fiscal deficit? It is the gap between what the government spends and what it earns. Fine. So this helps in understanding the financial health of government, and this figure is highly watched by the rating agencies across the world. So here government always wants to restrict the fiscal deficit at certain number, and this can be restricted by off-budget borrowings. So here comes the concept of off-budget borrowings. So ultimately it becomes difficult to calculate the true debt of government. Fine. Now coming to the question, off-budget borrowings are the loans taken by the central government from foreign institutional lenders. No, this is wrong, because government does not take the loan from foreign institutional lenders, rather it takes the loan from any public institution which borrows on the directions of central government. Okay. And second statement is off-budget borrowings increase the fiscal deficit of the country. No, already I have told you that it has nothing to do with fiscal deficit. Okay. So here correct answer is option number D, neither 1 nor 2. Next question, consider the following pairs of islands with their respective ocean. First is Falkland Archipelago in Indian Ocean. So this lies in South Atlantic Ocean on the Patagonian shelf. And as a British overseas territory, the Falklands have internal self-governance and UK takes responsibility for their defense and foreign affairs. Okay. So this is wrong. It does not lie in Indian Ocean. Second is Borneo Islands in Atlantic Ocean. Borneo Island is the extreme southwest part of Pacific Ocean. And it is the third largest island in the world, surpassed in size by only Greenland, and New Guinea. Okay, so this is also wrong. And third is Kermadec Islands in Pacific Ocean. Yes, this is right. Correct answer becomes only 3. Now, what is the context of this question? Recently, an 8.1 magnitude earthquake originated 19 kilometers underneath the Kermadec Islands. Earlier, another earthquake of 7.3 magnitudes had struck the region, and Kermadec Islands is a group of subtropical islands located in the southern part of Pacific Ocean, and it is located in the northeast of New Zealand. So they are uninhabited and are under the administration of New Zealand, and Kermadec Ocean Sanctuary was created in these islands in the year 2015. Fine. Now coming to last question, with reference to APEDA, that is Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, which of the following are correct statements? First is, it functions under the Ministry of Agriculture. Actually, APEDA was established by Government of India under the Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority Act of 1985, and it functions under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry and not under the Ministry of Agriculture. Okay. And second is, it monitors the import of sugar. Actually, APEDA is mandated with the responsibility of export promotion and development of the scheduled products, for example, fruits, vegetables and their products, meat and meat products, poultry and poultry products, dairy products, confectionery, honey, jaggery and sugar products, cocoa and its products, chocolates of all kinds, alcohols and alcoholic beverage, then cereal and cereal products, peanuts, groundnuts, along with herbal and medicinal plants. Okay. Also, APEDA has been entrusted with the responsibility to monitor import of sugar. This is right. Correct answer becomes only 2. Now, what is the context of this question? Recently, the first consignment of iron-rich red rice named as Bao Dhan was flagged off to the country USA, and it is cultivated in the alluvial soil in the Brahmaputra Valley in the state of Assam. So it is basically a deep water paddy variety, and the characteristic red color of the grains is due to presence of anthocyanin pigment. Also, it is rich in other nutrients like vitamin A, zinc and antioxidants. Recently, in the month of August 2021, APEDA, in collaboration with HPMC, that is Himachal Pradesh Horticultural Produce Marketing and Processing Corporation Limited, exported first consignment comprising of 5 unique varieties of apples to the country Bahrain in order to promote agriculture and processed food products export to the newer destinations. Fine. And also in the month of July 2021, consignment of GI certified Fazil mango was again exported to the country Bahrain in order to boost mango export potential from eastern region to Middle East countries, and these mangoes belong to Malda district of West Bengal. Okay. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. If you want to give any review, feedback or suggestion regarding these lectures, you can tell us in the comment section. Definitely we'll try to implement that. And now we'll meet again tomorrow with 5 more new and interesting questions. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. And please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.